So by now, if you have any interest in Star Trek, you've seen the Star Trek Picard trailer. This was more than just the teasers we'd seen before, and cleared up some things about the series. Before, I thought it was pretty well confirmed, or maybe they were just leading us astray, which people from Bad Robot have done before. I know it's supposed to be secret hideout or not. I know the rumors are Kurtzman's pretty much lost all his power over this franchise or whatever. I don't know. But the point of the matter is that it was said that Patrick Stewart would be the only one featured in the series. There wouldn't be guest stars from Next Generation and all that. Well, no, that's not true. Data is clearly going to be in it. Surprisingly, 7 of 9, there she was, looking fantastic, by the way. And not in the trailer, but it's also revealed that Riker and Troy would also make an appearance. And I think it's important to stipulate an appearance. I think these will be largely cameos. It's kind of bad that Data and 7 and 9 can't be a part of it. I would have liked them to form up the main cast for the series, but no, I think they're just there to try to make up for the damage done by their Star Trek Discovery efforts, which just didn't show any care with continuity and canon at all. Now there is, of course, which seems to be pretty much played out, that there is the legal problems and hurdles between the entities of CBS and the Bad Robot, dealings with the franchise and whatever Bad Robot's allowed to do and what they can't and all this sort of thing. And they said they came up with the number 25% different it has to be and all this sort of thing. And with that, you see in this trailer, well, there's a lot of, seems, direct references to Next Generation. Certainly, what happened to Data at the end of the Next Generation film franchise, where he died, and then but he had managed to upload his data into yet another brother he had. Didn't know anything about it, called B4, but he was a very simple version, at least mentally, of Data, and not like Lore was. And it was pretty obvious that the personality and traits of Data would eventually take over, and so Data would essentially be resurrected. So it's not unreasonable to see that there's still a Data around, although looking like he was stung by a bee. I don't know, whatever the de-aging technology they used. And for the fact that he's an android and stuff, and who's to say what he would look like decades later. So he doesn't quite look right, but I was happy to see him there. 7 of 9, of course, looks like she's progressed and regained pretty much her humanity. She still has the little metal implant on her face, but other than that, she seems pretty human. And that would make sense too, considering the time that's gone by, and she would regain most of her humanity. And I think I was listening to Dave Cullen's video on it, and he suggested she probably wouldn't even refer to herself as 7 of 9 anymore, and that sort of thing. And so that's good. And as far as Troy and Riker, we'll have to see the show, I suppose. Maybe there'll be some other trailers and what have you. But I think that's about it. That would probably be the first episode. The rest of the show will be these new characters they've introduced, which will form this ragtag rogue crew that Picard has to put together to help save this strange and fascinating young girl. Yes, this girl who kicks ass and all this. And oh boy. So, will she be a Mary Sue? Well, I'm sure she has fantastic abilities, and they keep showing scenes of Data, and he refers to Data as his sacrifice, and then there's the Borg. There's a lot of elements of the Borg there, and as what happened to Picard with the Borg and so on and so forth, there's probably some connection there for this girl. Either she's a hybrid species born out of the Borg, perhaps Jean-Luc's daughter with the Borg Queen, or she could be another daughter of Data. Yes, another. If you watch the series, Data did have a daughter, and sadly she passed away from a broken heart. But this could be more of an organic form or what have you, and this is why she has, these abilities and super strength and all that sort of thing. But really, the show will probably be hers, and Picard will be nothing more than a guest star in his own series, and he's put there because, boy, they really got to do something, because they've pretty much destroyed the franchise with Star Trek Discovery. And for a multitude of reasons that would take too long to get back into it. But by now, if you've been paying attention to this whole ordeal, you pretty much know what happened. So, can Picard save Star Trek? Yeah. If this was what it looks like, and it proves me wrong, and Riker and Troy have a more of a role to play in here, and Data and 7 of 9, and they've got an interesting, fascinating story, and if the girl ties in, like she is a descendant of either the Borg with Picard or Data, or Data and Picard. You could make that work. You could. If they actually have decent science fiction writers, people who have a history of this genre and respect, and actually and play on actual science theories that you stretch into the fantasy of science fiction, not like what Deep Space. Sorry, no. Star Trek Discovery did, where they didn't care about theories at all. It was magic. Everything was just magic. There's always a stretching, and it's like, well, it wouldn't quite happen that way or nothing, but it still was grounded in a lot of these sci-fi theories, which is the point of science fiction, is the playing out on the theater of fantasy how certain theories would work, like time travel, space travel, and stuff like that, and warps, and whatever it comes to, and artificial intelligence, and so on and so forth. So yes, all these elements that made Star Trek Next Generation so beloved could work. And if you have those elements and you put that upon it, and you stay true to that, and really just basic adventure at that point, yeah, that could work. That could probably save the franchise and give everyone, well, Star Trek is back. It's not going to be completely like Star Trek, because this is, referring to a single beloved character in Captain Picard. And he's on this. He's not in the Federation. It's not the Federation deal. I'm sure the Federation will be around, make an appearance here and there. But he's on this adventure that looks a little more like Star Wars. But, and I think it's going to be kind of short, too. I can't remember exactly the length they had said before. But anyway, it still could be respectful to the series, despite the absolute just complete abandonment of it in the previous series. So yeah, it could work, but I of course have been burned so many times and I'm very dubious. And of course, just looking at the trailer, the telltale sign seems to be that it's just Picard in name only, and it's going to be these new characters who are going to cheer on a bunch of woke sentiments and think that's enough, and plot and character development story will just sort of take a back seat, because that's not really that important. And anybody who complains about it, well, you know what you are. So, boy, that's been working great, hasn't it, for the past, 5 years or so, as this trend seems to continue within these popular, once popular franchises. So, hopefully, not so much that, but yeah, you can only hope. I hope I'm completely wrong about that, and this looks as good as it seems to tease as it does. But even to this day, when I look at that trailer for The Last Jedi, I say, wow, that looks like a great movie. It wasn't. So it's hard to get one's hopes up about anything these days after being let down so many times. But let's hope they've turned a corner, and this will be at least better. It doesn't even have to be great, It just has to be just good, Try. All right, thank you for watching and listening. Please like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you.